Alrighty guys, good morning here on YouTube. Gosh, it feels like I haven't made a video in a little bit, and I haven't because I've been setting up stream stuff, working on just a bunch of other things for you guys here on the channel here. I appreciate you guys for holding true here to the channel. It means a lot. You guys are awesome. We're going to continue to grow the platform here as well. If you guys can't see, I've got a desk behind me now. I've made a new desk, or I got a new desk in, set that up, got my new chair in. The desk is really more for school when I go back to school next semester, but that is here. Things look a little bit different, but not a lot different. Yeah, so we're going to start getting videos back out to you guys. I will let you guys know for tomorrow, for Monday. I do have a race tomorrow morning for Labor Day, and I've also still got family here until tomorrow midday, so tomorrow's video will probably be a little bit later in the afternoon. It'll probably be around 1 or 2, so just to give you guys a heads up on that. But let's go ahead and talk about what's going to be happening here across the board here. This is our local satellite imagery here this morning here. You guys can see a lot of nothing, really not a lot going on here this morning here, I should say, as we do have a complex of storms that move through. Texas is moving through East Texas right now. That actually produced some 70-mile-per-hour winds in Lubbock last night during the college football game down there. They actually had to delay that game to get it finished because of the just beautiful shelf cloud that moved through that area down there yesterday. A huge supercell. It's all over social media. You literally can just look up Lubbock, Texas thunderstorm yesterday, and it'll pop up on there. It was just insane. But other than that here, not a lot going on across the board. You can start to see our cold front that'll be swinging in or setting up our troughing pattern for next week, where we're going to see some of the coldest overnight lows and highs since spring. So I know when you say that, it sounds like, you know, that wasn't too long ago, but it was a good amount of time ago. So as we get ready to transition into fall here, we'll start to see more of these cold fronts come down here. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to stay locked in this cold pattern for a long period of time, and the models actually do signal that we're going to be seeing a warm up potentially as we go back into the middle of September. But right now, if you are in the Ohio River Valley, the Northeast, going up towards the southeast into next week here, we will start to see those cooler temperatures emerge through about the end of next week. So we're going to break all that down for you guys here this morning. Like I said, not a lot going on across the board here. We're going to start out with the tropics here this morning. We'll go ahead and head over to the satellite imagery here from the eastern Atlantic, and you guys can see this is our next tropical wave. This is soon to be eventually tropical storm Gabrielle here in the future. However long that takes to get to that point, we'll have to wait and see. This just emerged off the coast of Africa here, and this is actually looks like a pretty healthy wave. There is a lot of model discrepancy on where this is going to go here. I mean, the European ensembles have a pretty good idea of this going further west underneath of a ridge. The GFS ensembles don't really care about that, and they want to take this thing out to sea as typical. So we're going to have to really watch our blocking high, our steering mechanisms going into this week on where this goes and where, you know, how far west does it go, how far north does it go. All of those little wobbles and movements mean a big difference on if this is going to come our way or if this is going to go out to sea. So we've got to watch all hazards. So if you are in the United States, or if you're in the Caribbean, or if you're in the Leeward Islands, you definitely need to be watching. It's not panic mode or anything because we don't have a named storm. We don't have anything quite yet off of that type of things, or off that type of list, but that will soon be a thing as we get toward the end of the week. Now, I will let you guys know with the model discrepancy and the ensemble discrepancy right now, both the GFS and the European dermatistic runs, those single model runs that you guys typically see people post on social media to fearmonger or all of that stuff. You're probably not seeing that right now, and the reason why that is because both of those dermatistic runs are actually showing this system going out to sea, and the odds are actually in favor of an out to sea curve, but doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. So we have to watch the system all the way through its life journey as this continues to move its way west here. So right now on a west track, like I said, no United States impacts or threats now, but you know, we'll be watching as we get towards next week. May bring something towards our direction next week, may not. We'll keep you guys updated on that there. And the latest from the National Hurricane Center here this morning here, I wouldn't be shocked to see this go orange by this afternoon. We're at a 30% chance. We've held a 30% chance of a tropical cyclone formation in the next 7 days for about 2 days now. So we should start to see this increase as this wave works its way west into this favorable region. Now, like I said, does it go west toward the leeward? Does it go towards the Caribbean? Does it go toward the Bahamas, the Puerto Rico area here, or does it go out to sea? There's a lot of discrepancy on where this is going to go. So a big watching week here of where this tropical wave goes, kind of like we had with Aaron. We typically see these waves that come off the coast of Africa. We're watching them for a good amount of time. So you guys know the drill when it comes to that here. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Here is the latest GFS ensembles. Do not pay attention to this over here. This is a low pressure that could develop off the east coast of Florida, as we've been seeing these lows kind of develop off of these frontal zones. We'll watch it and see what happens, but right now some ensembles do have a little bit of a chance of a tropical depression working its way up the east coast, but it would stay out to sea. So that's one thing to kind of take note of there. But I want you guys to see something here. This is something that's, you know, just really crazy. The GFS ensembles have a pretty good idea. Most of them are congealed with a westerly track with this, but then after that, where does this go after 5 days, right? Where are we taking this? Are we taking this west? Are we going out to sea? I mean, the uncertainty on where this wave is going to go is all over the place. So that is your GFS ensembles for this morning. But take a look at the European, pretty confined. So we have a more better agreement with the European model, and the European sees that high pressure ridge over Bermuda being a lot stronger and suppressing our wave further to the west. Now, if this were to verify, we would have some problems next week, and we don't want to see that going towards next week whatsoever. This would technically be through the second week of September. So we'll be watching this wave every single day this week and going into the second week of September. So, you know, you guys are going to start to see if the models do start to agree with something tracking more further west, you're going to start to see people talk about it. And I want you guys to remember, just like we had with Hurricane Aaron, there is going to be a lot of fear mongering out there. There's going to be a lot of skepticism. There's going to be, you know, a lot of false information going around with this. Stay tuned to our channel here. We're going to keep you guys updated. We're going to give you guys the right information. I am not concerned about United States impacts right now. And if we were to start to see those, we'll mention it and talk about it. But right now, we'll watch for a western track, or do we go out to sea with this system? A lot of things to figure out in the next 5 to 7 days. So we'll talk about it. We'll keep you guys updated as always, and we'll head over to here and talk about what's going to be going on with our pattern here. We have a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here, and the National Weather Service / Climate Prediction Center did shift our higher contour of colder air up further to the north, just seeing the GFS and the Euro trend a little bit further to the north instead of bringing this cold front all the way down southeast. The cold front will come down southeast, but the more unstable cold air, I should say, not unstable, but the more colder air will trend a little bit further to the north than it was earlier this past week, keeping the Great Lakes a lot colder in northern Indiana, northern Ohio, eastern Wisconsin. There's actually some model runs that are showing some snowflakes flying. Yes, you heard that correct. Snowflakes flying as far as northern Wisconsin toward the end of next Thursday and Friday. So that's something we're going to watch as well. Couldn't imagine getting snowflakes in September. That's just crazy to me. The West Coast will stay above average, as well as Hawaii and Alaska, but we'll keep majority of the eastern and central United States very much below average. We could see temperatures 20 to 25 degrees below average by the end of this week here, with 30s and low 40s for overnight lows for much of the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes, and even down into portions of the Tennessee Valley. So it's going to be a nice, cool week. Get out there, get your stuff done, your yard work done, anything you got to get done. Definitely a good week to get it done, because we may start to see that warm up as we go towards the second half of the month of September. So talking about those temperature anomalies once again here for you guys, you're going to see that big old blob of dark blue and purple come down. This is not something we typically see a lot as we transition from August into September. And I want you guys to understand, we are going into what's called a La Nina pattern as we go towards the winter months here. So we're going to start to see more of these cold shots of air start to come down, especially as we transition to winter. If this was happening in terms of November or December, we would be seeing probably a ridiculous amount of snowfall with this system, but that's not the case because it's going into September. So nothing too concerned to worry about. I also want to make note of one thing down here, and we'll talk about this here in a second. We are going to have a tropical system down here off the coast of Baja California that we are also going to be watching going towards the end of next week. This could bring some monsoon moisture again back up here into Arizona, Southern Cal, back into New Mexico. This also could bring a tropical wave or a hurricane potentially even into Baja California, which is not something that happens very often. The last time we had something that came up into this area was Hurricane Hillary back in, I believe, 2022 or 2023. I can't remember exactly on the dot what year that was, but it was in the last 5 years that ended up happening, and that brought a lot of rainfall, and it also brought some earthquakes up towards Southern Cal. So hopefully that's not the same situation we're looking at again. I don't think it will be, but there will be some monsoon rain that comes up from that tropical wave like we had last week with Juliet as well. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. But once again, that cold air going to be locked in place for much of the week going into next weekend, and then eventually by the second week of September that will start to filter out. We may see some warming again back across the Ohio River Valley, some cooling over in the west, and if we do see that, typically there gets to be severe weather associated where you get those clashes of air masses. I'm just kind of speaking past the 10-day mark right now just to kind of give you guys an update on where we could see past that. But after that, things get a little bit uncertain on what's going to happen in the future, and we'll keep you guys updated on that as always. Now I do want to talk about one other thing. That's our jet stream here, just to kind of give you guys an idea on why this is happening and, you know, why are we getting this cold air? Well, right now, that's a cold air is not in place. We have a ridge up in Canada, but that ridge is going to break down pretty significantly, and here comes that big old polar jet stream. This is the reason why we're getting that cold air. Northwesterly to southeasterly flow. This is going to promote below average temperatures every time it happens. This is very, very cold air that's coming out of Canada. And when you say very cold, you know, 40s and 50s and 60s don't seem that cold, but it is, considering this is the time of the year going into September where we typically are seeing ridging or a heat wave or something like that. So once again, it's cold. It's going to be cold, and we'll see that jet stream in place through much of the week going into the weekend, and then after that things get a little bit more uncertain on what's going to happen as we go toward the following week. But we could start to see severe weather return to the picture as we see some troughing enter here as we go towards the second and third week. So a lot of things to wiggle out and figure out here, once again with the tropics, with just in general after this week. We'll be keeping you guys updated on forecast every single day. Once again, I'll have a video out for you guys a little bit later tomorrow since I won't be back until later tomorrow. And then here's just an idea of, look, it's again those snowflakes flying up here in southern Canada and in northern Wisconsin and UP Michigan by Thursday, potentially. So the GFS is showing that with a nice little cold front moving through, maybe some showers and thunderstorms across the Ohio River Valley on Friday and Saturday. And then after that, things just get a little bit more uncertain what's going to happen, but we could see some severe weather start to ramp up as we get toward the second week of September. So we'll be keeping you guys updated as always. Stay tuned to the channel. I may or may not have a live stream today. We'll see what happens. If we don't have a live stream today, it'll definitely be tomorrow as we get back into things. I'll be busy. My family will be leaving tomorrow as well. So had some family come up here from back from North Carolina to visit for the weekend. So other than that, guys, be safe out there, be weather aware, and we'll see you guys in the next one.